Hey everybody, this is Jeff Veale, the business guru, coming to you from downtown Manila in the Philippines. And I've got an awesome guest today, and she's a very, very interesting woman, obviously a lifelong learner, as you'll see. Her name is, of all things, Lee Smith. And Lee, don't let the name fool you. This lady knows a lot. Mindset and self-talk strategist, right? You can ask what that is. She's going to tell you very shortly. And by the way, guys, for all you freebie seekers out there, and there's many of you, reach out to this lady and have a virtual cup of coffee because it's in your wheelhouse. It's totally free. And you'll get to know what you don't know by chatting to this lady. And she can put you, all you women out there, particularly, she can help put you on the right track. And that's important, right? Her industry, speaking and life coach, mindset and self-talk, right? Years in the industry, been doing this most of her life, but in this part, she's been doing for 8 years. Description: I do keynote speaking and corporate workshops. I facilitate an online mastermind community for high achieving women, reframing their imposter syndrome into actionable confidence with my proven 5-step. And it says here Candy, CANDY, which will tell you what that means in a minute and break that down. Method to rewrite self-talk so that they can shine into their genius, gifts, and greatness. Key achievements. Oh, God, guys, this is like the encyclopedia. I won't go through them all. I'll go through some of them. Certified in a knowledge broker blueprint, certified high performance coach, certified professional speaker, certified master practitioner in neuralistic programming, certified practicing timeline therapy, certified in digital marketing, and there's about 10 more, guys. This woman is a lifelong learner. The difference between you and her, she's an action taker. She's taken what she's learned and she's applying it to help you. So reach out. Personal motto philosophy, uh, excuse me, outside my comfort is my zone. And I'm very familiar with that. I travel every 2 months, guys. I book a one-way ticket somewhere, don't care where. I book a one-way ticket somewhere. If I like it, I stay 3 or 4 weeks. I have laptop, we'll travel. If I don't like it, I stay 2 or 3 days. And people say, you're so lucky. No, I make my own luck, guys, and you can do the same, right? Interesting fact, I'm a first generation of my mum's side, and on my dad's side, my ancestors arrived at the same time as the pilgrims on the Mayflower, just on a different ship. So it's my great pleasure to welcome to the stage Lee Smith. How are you, Lee?
Thank you so much, Jeff. Oh my gosh, hearing all those things about myself, it's like, whoa, who was that person?
It's a
But
bit
I'm
like that,
super
isn't it?
excited to be here.
Yeah, I do that. I look back and say, oh, who are you who are you to teach me? What do you know? And I look back and I go, wow, I know a lot.
Yes.
In fact, I made a video about it. What could a marketing dinosaur teach you? I've got a list all
I
these
love
things. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Tell us about your journey and what inspired you to pursue this career path of yours. What happened?
Yes. Well, truth be told, Jeff, I am fulfilling the dream of my 8-year-old inner self, my inner child. I was 8 years old when I was introduced to public speaking. I was fantastic at reading out loud. And so my Bible school teacher said, Lee, you're an amazing reader. Would you read the scriptures at a service sometime? And I just said yes, because I enjoyed reading out loud. And I
Fantastic.
wasn't thinking about, oh, I'm going to get in front of 300 people. No, I got up there, I read the scriptures, I saw 300 sets of eyes and smiles looking back at me. And then an amazing thing happened when I walked away from the sanctuary. There was a little shiver that went through my body, and I thought, what is that feeling, and how do I get more of that? So,
Fantastic.
fast forward years later, when I'm fulfilling a dream of being a stay-at-home mom, I'm raising a family. However, I came into a blended family, so there was a lot of dynamics in there. And doing the day to day, and I was functioning as a single mom most of the time because my husband was traveling so much with his work. I was raising a stepson and my daughter.
Wow.
Well, life caught up with me, and I found myself in depression.
Wow.
And when I became aware of that, I got to the truth of it, which is I'm not a person who lives in depression. I'm a person who's supposed to be living life fully. That's who I
Yeah.
really am in my nature. But in that moment, I wasn't. And I thought, I need to get back to who I am. Who is Lee Smith? And I took myself on a path of anything that would make me laugh. And I had three big factors. I had three big factors. One, I watched reruns of Friends because that was my favorite sitcom.
Yeah.
Two, there was a local comedy troupe who was doing an improv show every weekend, just the first few months. So I was there almost every weekend. And three, when I was out networking and socializing with people, I knew who had an amazing sense of humor, and I intentionally got into their space. So some of that energy would rub off on me, and I found my joy again. And when I did that, it was my little 8-year-old self who came through my mind and said, remember how we love public speaking? Let's go chasing that. And then I look at my self-reflection on how did I move myself from depression to direction. And that foundation became what I teach out in the world today. And I put it in a framework called the Candy Method.
Pretty cool. And I tell people, if you get depressed, guys, go the other direction. You can either go down or up. So choose to go back up because tell you now, no one cares, right? And my
Right.
favorite saying is, if it's meant to be, it's up to me. So as I say,
Exactly.
get out, get some sunshine, get out and about, go and enjoy yourself, have fun. Life's
Right.
meant to be an adventure. What's
Yes. Gratitude and knowing what makes you happy, that will turn you around.
Yeah, that's the one. What's been the most challenging aspect of your work and how are you overcoming it?
Well, I've been pursuing this. What year are we in now? Almost 10 years.
Wow.
And and figuring out the money part of it,
Yep.
knowing that I I'm capable, I have amazing skills, and I have something that it seems that people need, but then where do I find the people who need me and also have the funds to invest in themselves to make that change happen? And I've even taken my candy method through a bit of an evolution where I initially started it as a personal development program
Mm,
because I wanted to be the next thought leader. And then as I was pursuing that, I noticed that the people that I was speaking to, they were all caught up in the hustle and the grind, and I'm so
yep.
busy all the time. And I thought, but are you actually producing results?
Yes.
Let's talk about productivity. So I
Yeah.
used my candy method in a framework of productivity. And then while I was doing that, I was speaking to a lot of women in the audience, and the women were approaching me, Lee, you're such an amazing speaker. When I see
Fantastic.
you up there on the stage, you're so confident and your dynamics are amazing. Could you teach me how to do that?
Nice.
And so I moved the candy method into public speaking confidence, and I worked with those clients in that
Yeah,
aspect.
pretty good.
And then I took a pause because life does happens, and sometimes you got to take a
Yep.
pause for a moment. So I did, and then when I was coming back, I decided I really have taken my journey through conversations with myself and using my personal development and my self-talk and my neurolinguistic programming practices on myself. I thought, oh, it really comes to the self-talk. So now that's where I take it, my message out to the world is taking the Candy Method framework to do that. And that, Jeff, has been bringing in the opportunities not only for
Nice.
me to speak, but for clients to say, hey, here's my credit card. I want to work with you.
Lovely,
And so
lovely. Tell me,
things are coming together.
for those who don't know, it sounds sweet, but unpack the candy method. What is
Yes.
what's it sound? What's the candy method? Explain that to us.
Yes. So when again, looking back at my depression, it was getting clear on
Nice.
who is Lee, what makes me happy, and if I'm going to give myself permission to dream, then what does that dream look like? It can't be out of focus. It can't be fuzzy and blurry. It needs to be crystal clear if I'm going to manifest it and make it really come true.
Mm,
So C is for clarity.
yep.
The A is that self-talk. And it's not just positivity.
No,
Okay,
sure.
positive words are great, but you can't have positive toxicity, and we
Sure.
don't want that.
You got to keep yourself accountable, right?
Exactly. We want to use it effectively. So affirmations, using them in the proper way so that they are powerful for you.
Hmm?
And I use the word laugh to carry my journey out. How am I going to get out of this depression? I want to laugh every day. Then it was also looking at the goals. You know, when you have the big picture dream, then you're making the plan and the goals so that you can make the next steps. And I like to say, what are the best next steps to get me from here closer to my goal? Am I moving the needle? Who do I need to know? Who do I need to connect with?
Mhm.
Where's my clients going to be? It's those necessary things. So the N is necessary. The D is taking action. It's discipline.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it is doing those necessary things. Because I like to say you can have a can, you can be clear about what you want, you can be speaking positively, and you can
Sure.
know the necessary steps, but if you don't do anything with it, if there's no implementation, you're not going to get anywhere. And you might be thinking, I can, and nothing happens because you made nothing happen. So
Yeah.
the D is the actual doing, the taking action. And then the Y is all about you, and it's celebrating you. Initially, celebrating myself was I got out of bed today and I made it to the corner of the couch.
Yeah.
And then today I get to celebrate. I woke up this morning and I showed up and I served all the different audiences in the world. So, you know, whether it's something small or something big, it is celebrating your amazingness, your brilliance, and your efforts that you're taking yourself out into the world. So
Yeah.
that's the can method.
Nice. And for those people watching, I can give you three words that I guarantee will double your productivity. Three words, right? And I should be charging you a fortune, but you can also send me a bottle of scotch if you wish. The three words are do it now. So you're sitting there
Yes.
and something pops in your head. Oh, I've got to put that rubbish out later. No, 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 later. You thought about it now. Just get up and do it. 2 minutes, done. And you feel good about it. It's amazing. It's like eating a frog. When you do these little tasks, you're clearing the decks, and it's fantastic, right? And it's in my head
Exactly.
all the time. Like self-talk. Oh,
Right.
do it now, right?
Exactly.
Some days I hate it because I think I don't want to do it now, right?
Right.
Tell us, in your opinion, what are the key qualities of skills that have contributed to your amazing success? What do
I'm
you
sorry,
think?
could you say that one more time?
Yeah, mumbling, sorry. What are the key qualities or skills that have contributed to your amazing success?
I would say my why is one big thing that my dream to be an inspirational speaker who really makes the impact. I don't want to just share a story. I want to give you a tool that you can use, and it's up to you to use it or not use it, but for you to do that. And so now I'm creating that positive impact. And when I do that for that first contact audience, then when they take it home and into their relationships, I'm creating that ripple effect. And I feel so called to do that that I can't not do it.
Yeah,
There
no.
is no quit in me. And so I've said I've been doing this for almost 10 years, and maybe I didn't figure out the money part yet. It's happening now. And where so many of my other fellow dreamers, I've seen them quit, they see me still going. They're like, Lynn, you're
Absolutely.
still doing it? And I said, yes, because my why is so big on creating the impact and then knowing that I can build this business. And in my underlying why for that is again twofold. One, I have a daughter. She's a college graduate now, but I'm still role modeling for her. I want her to know that she can have a dream, she can choose to pursue it,
Yeah,
and she can make it happen. And as so long as she doesn't quit, she won't ever fail. And then the other part is because my husband, bless him, we're getting ready to celebrate 25 years of marriage. It hasn't been all bliss, but it has been a wonderful journey. And he's been so supportive,
nice.
so amazing. and financially mostly. And so now I want to retire him so that we can still enjoy travel and the world
Yeah,
together,
really
because
cool.
I can take my business anywhere. I have the flexibility that you have,
Same
Jeff.
to
I
me.
can take it
Yeah,
anywhere.
yeah,
And so, I want to be able to do that. So that big why, it's so strong on my heart to serve and to do something for my family, not only as a legacy, but to say thank you to my husband for all of his amazing support. There is no quit in me. And so if there's no quit in me, then it's got to be figure outable. And I will figure out the way to make it happen,
yeah.
whether it's meeting a mentor like Jeff and say, Jeff, how do I do this? And then go and implement that, or I just keep trial and error until I succeed.
Yeah, I love that. I had a good chat to Lee earlier, and I'd add to to her repertoire. She has wonderful empathy. She's a great listener, and empathy is very important, guys, especially in public speaking. You got to hear what's not being said as well as what's being said, right? So
Yeah,
empathy is one, and her attitude, and her passion, right? Her attitude is win, right? Just win and help others win, and when you help others win, guys, you can't help but win. It's simple as that, right? Tell me,
exactly.
how do you stay motivated and continue to innovate in your field every day? What do you do? You get up and watch Friends, or what do you do?
I have a lot of friends. Yes, yes. Um, I, it's it comes back to waking up with gratitude. Like when my eyes pop open, I'm like, it's another day. And
Like it.
that means there's another opportunity that either I can work on myself, and by working on myself, what I typically do is I look back, maybe it's the day before or a few weeks before, like what have I learned this week? And then how can I take those life lessons and then turn that into a message that's going to be of value and impact in the world. And I also realized in my journey, Jeff, that I was reacting, and that's how I got into the depression. I was reacting to the day-to-day things. I wasn't being present
Yes.
and creating the best version of myself. And that created a framework. And it is that framework that's always my motivator. Is it okay if I share it with you? I have a quick visual with that.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
I am holding
Wow.
up Scrabble letters
I love
here.
that. I love that. That's pretty
And
cool.
and they spell reactor. And so I am on a mission to transform the reactor. And the reactor is the person who says, life is hard and this is impossible. And why is this not working out for me? And they're putting out the minutia fire, moment to moment. And they're reacting to everything. And they're busy and they're tired and they're stressed and they're overwhelmed. And so they're like the letter C in reactor. They see themselves stuck in the middle of all the things.
Yeah, nice.
And what I get to do with them is I say, let's take a beat. Let's take a breath or a couple of days in a
Yeah,
retreat or maybe a mini holiday. And
yeah,
let's see
absolutely.
yourself for who you are,
Yeah,
your amazingness and your brilliance. And what I call the three G's: your genius, your gifts, and your greatness. A
nice.
unique combination that makes you you. And
Yeah,
when you see yourself first and you put yourself first, that's when the magic happens. And instead of being a reactor, you're now a creator. And the things that align with what matters most to you becomes the priority. That's where you go do it now, and you do that priority, and you become the creator of the day, the week, the year, the life, the business on your terms. We said in our conversation earlier today, Jeff, no one is going to save you.
right.
So if it's up to me, if it's going to be, it's up to me, and I'm not going to react to life. I'm going to be a creator. And this is what I do with the self-talk.
Yeah, I love what you've done there. I thought of something I meant to mention earlier. I had a beautiful Asian wife, a Malaysian girl, and people go, you still talk to your ex-wife? And I say we had two children together, and we spent 16 years together. Why wouldn't I talk to her, right? In fact,
Right.
she handles all my money in Australia, which is a funny thing. People think we're still married, but we're not. Anyway, um, one stage, this is many, many years ago, my oldest daughter now is about 45, but when she was about 10, she'd come up with all these ideas. She was a real, daydreamer and dreamer. And
Yeah.
my ex-wife used to always say to her, Jessica, stop dreaming. Jessica, stop dreaming. So what I
Mm,
did, being an entrepreneur, I was always at work, I was never present. But I went out, I bought this huge poster and it said something like, the world is made up of dreamers. And it had like Stephen Jobs and,
yeah,
Einstein and all these people. And I put this
right.
huge poster over my daughter's bed. And my
That's
wife hated it. In other
fantastic.
words, and it said, "Be a dreamer. The world is made up of dreamers," and that's reality, guys.
Yes,
Dream big. Dream big.
absolutely. Yes.
You
Yeah, don't just dream, but yeah, definitely dream big
Yeah. So
and then go do something about it.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that was my opposite to her. That's probably we're not together. Tell me, you get it. Tell us about a recent project or achievement amongst your many. Tell us one you're particularly proud of, please.
Well, I think it's really putting myself out there and knowing that I'm going for bigger opportunities. And whether it was joining a recent women's networking group,
Yeah.
and I love being in there right now because I'm such a small fish in
Oh,
that big pond.
that's
And
right.
that means to me opportunity, 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 so much to learn and grow. And I had a conversation with a local gal. She's a leadership facilitator, workshop facilitator, and she said, Lee, my previous client asked me to refer other leaders who could do workshops for them. I was wondering, would you like to put your name in the hat? And I said, absolutely. And then I had to go
Lovely.
research how to put a proposal together and put my content together in that proposal context. And I submitted it.
Fantastic.
And she said, thank you. And she said, I just want you to know you're not the only person I talked to. I said, I would be offended if I was the only person. I like knowing, we have so many women in our community who would fit this. And then I waited, and a couple months later, I got an email. And Jeff, I had to laugh at myself because I opened up that email and I was looking at it like a high school student ready to read a rejection letter from the college admission office, but nope, that is not what happened. They wanted the interview with me. We went through the interview process, and now I'm going to be doing that workshop for them. So it's really big. And I gave them three different options. I gave them a workshop option focused on the reactor creator mindset,
Nice, I like that one.
facilitating that, or an option of doing productivity, or an option on the candy method. And they said, we want the candy method. So that
Very
felt
good.
very validating. So I'm very proud of my work, that it's
As,
so good, it can't be ignored.
as you should be, as you should be. Excuse me. A 20-year-old, there you go. You've got a daughter. A
Yeah.
20-year-old comes to you, a daughter, a niece, a nephew, just left school, and they go, look, I don't know what I want to do with myself. What advice would you give them? What would you tell them?
Yes, I would invite them to take a quiet moment and have paper and pencil or a pen, something to write with,
Yeah.
and sit with themselves, no distractions, and think about what is it they really like doing.
Uh-huh.
And whatever comes to their mind, they
Yeah.
don't get to judge it. They just get to write it down. And
Yes.
they keep writing and they keep writing and they keep writing until they can't come up with any more ideas of
Nice.
what they like doing, the things that make them happy. And then go take like a 15-minute break, go take a walk, a quick walk, and then come back and look at the scribble and say, now, which of these things do I like doing really make me come alive?
Yeah.
Because you feel it. You feel it when you're doing those types of things.
Yeah.
And so when they find that, then go find out more about it, or find somebody who is a few steps ahead.
That's very
Maybe they have a
important.
life or the career, and they have the types of things that you want out of life. Go speak to that person and
Yeah.
find out, well, what's the journey, or is it worth it? And after speaking with them, gain from the wisdom from their experience. And does that still make you come alive, and make that be your continued learning process, that I'm going to keep pursuing this, until it doesn't make me come alive. And
Love
that's
it.
exactly what I've done with my speaking, Jeff. Ever since I was in college, I wanted to be a corporate motivational speaker. I got a little diverted here and there with
Yeah,
being a
sure.
mom and focusing on that. But when I came back to it, it was, and that was an activity I did while I was in college. I'm in the process of changing majors, but what do I change to? What do I want to do with my life? I don't know. And I literally took that time out, sat down, and I wrote every single thing, whether it was cooking or traveling or speaking or writing. I wrote dancing because I love dancing.
Yeah,
So I wrote all the things that I love doing, and I thought, well, what really makes me come alive? And I was like, oh, it's speaking. So that's what I would, and then I would tell them not to stress out about it, because if they're in their 20s, I do this with my daughter too, because she does like, Mom, what am I going to do? And I said, don't worry, you're going to figure it out. Right now, it's like, go try out life. You
yeah.
can't do that being on your phone all the time.
No,
That's not
that's
living. That's
right.
not figuring out what life is. You've
Yeah,
got to be out doing the things. And so
go
the
out and
more
do
things
it.
that
Yeah.
you try and do, you'll figure it out.
Pretty interesting. I'm just trying to collect my thoughts for a moment about that, about all that. It'll come to me in a minute. I had something. I had a follow up to all that. Basically, what it is, I tell people travel because you'll meet so many like-minded people, and your journey
Yes,
will change along the way. Don't worry, guys. Find your passion, as Lee has, and you'll never work another day in your life. You'll have a
so
passion,
true.
and you'll be a lifelong learner. And the one that she mentioned is very, very important, guys. Please listen. Get a mentor. There's so many people out there that'll help you either for a fee, and in some cases, like now, you can have a virtual cup of coffee with this lady, and I guarantee you'll come away better than when you started that cup of coffee. So the invitation's there. Reach out to this lovely lady, have a chat, and say, I'm a bit lost. Can you help me in some shape, manner, or form? And if she can't, and I'm sure she can, if she can't, she'll know people who can. So there's the invitation, guys.
Absolutely.
Reach out to this lady. Looking ahead, you're only at base camp at the moment. What are your goals and aspirations for the future? Where are you going?
Yes, so I'm building and growing this online community for high achieving women who want to rewrite their self-talk so that they can be a better version of themselves and better version of their lives and their careers and whatnot. And building that up to where we can come together in person and have these retreat experiences, because we can go so much deeper in person. And so knowing that I'll start, in my hometown, and then from there it's like, let's pick a place in the world to go to, because
Yeah,
it's not going to be here every year. It's like, let's go pick a place. Well, oh, we have a community in Australia. Well, let's go have a retreat in Australia. Oh, we have a community over in Thailand. Let's go do a retreat in Thailand. Oh, we have
yeah.
a community in the UK. And so knowing that, I'll be seeing the world, meeting those people. I love I've been in love with people ever since I was a kid. I was blessed
Nice.
to go to Europe as a young teenager, and just seeing all the different cultures and different people, it allowed me to learn more about myself.
Absolutely.
And I'm like, oh, so now to be able to do that through my speaking and through my helping other people, that's just amazing. And then, bringing my husband along with me and letting him enjoy
That's it.
enjoy the
That's it.
ride too.
And
And we
guys,
both enjoy travel together.
I'm
Yeah,
77 and I'm living the dream. And people go, "You're so lucky." I'm not lucky. I made it happen. Guys, don't wait till you
exactly.
retire. Do it now. Enjoy your life. Even going to take your partner and go to a hotel or Airbnb this weekend. And they go, "Oh, why
Right.
do that? Go out and reconnect. Get out and enjoy yourself." Right?
Yes.
You're not coming back, guys. If you think you are, leave me your money and I'll give it to you when you get back. I'll give you a double when
Right.
you get back. Tell me, you're an awesome guest. How can our listeners and people watching this wonderful podcast, what's the best way to reach out and find out more about your amazing service?
Yes, absolutely. Well, I would like to extend a free gift to everybody.
There you go.
And it is a don't say that, say this positive self-talk guide. And it's a simple PDF that it has two columns. One is those typical things that we say to ourselves that maybe we shouldn't, and
Yes.
then putting it in a positive reframe so that we can have that positive mindset. And so that's because it is rewriting your self-talk. You simply go to rewriteyourselftalk.com,
Yeah.
and that will start our conversation. And, for as long as you want the conversation to keep going, I will be here for you.
Yeah. Have we got that PDF, by the way? Have you sent that to us?
I I don't know yet if I have, but when you go to
Please,
rewriteyourselftalk.com, it takes you directly to it.
yeah, please send me that because I'll attach it to all
I
your
will.
information. And guys,
Yes.
please come on 15 Minutes of Fame. As you can see, it's like talking to a friend. And I want you to be aware of this, guys. If you spend, I've done all this, if you spend 20,000 on a TV commercial, fantastic, looks awesome. However, when it comes on, people are going to jump up, go to the fridge, grab a beer, grab a hot dog, or go to the toilet. They're not going to sit there and watch your commercial. That's bad news for you. 10 radio spots, you can try that too. And they'll play them like they promised you, but they invariably play them at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning when people are asleep, right? Come on 15 Minutes of Fame. It's very, very unique if you haven't noticed that already. And what happens, we turn it into a little mini video, a movie, all about you and your journey. And then we put it on Quora, Reddit, LinkedIn, Facebook group, YouTube, and our new school platform with all your social media links, potentially putting you in front of hundreds of prospects. And if you're clever, and you certainly should be, you'll be doing even more at your end. Go on LinkedIn. I was interviewed by the guru. Keep doing it. It's evergreen. I mean, who knows when it was made? Was it made yesterday or 6 months ago? Keep using it. It's evergreen piece of valuable content, guys. So break it down and use it. Before we let you go, you've got to tell us a fun fact about yourself because you're a fun lady that most people do not know about you. What is that fun fact?
Oh boy. So, um, probably like I shared that when I look at myself, my parents met during the Vietnam War,
Wow.
and they married. So they married in Vietnam, and my dad was able to bring my mom over to the States right away, and then shortly after that, honeymoon baby, they had me, and then when I studied my ancestry, I'm like, oh, on my mom's side here in the States, I am first generation. And on my dad's side, we were able to trace the ancestry all the way from the time they came over from England. And right there out of Southampton, they came over the same time as the Mayflower. They were just on a different ship. And to know that out of this one person, you have two different histories and very
Fantastic.
contrasting histories. I think that's a pretty wild thing to know, but not most
Yeah.
everybody knows that about me.
Yeah, I'm going to wrap this up. I'm going to tell you, one of my guests said something very interesting. I get a lot of guests on my show, guys. I've done close to 500 episodes. And like Lee, every now and again, I get a lady, not a woman, I get a lady come on the show. And this particular lady came on, and she was about 60. She looked about 45. She was particularly well groomed and very well spoken. And she said this at the start, and I resonated with it very well. She said, Jeff, I'm not a CEO. I'm a she-EO, SHE. And that made me think immediately. And I thought, how cool is that? Because you meet this woman, right? You buy a house together. She turns it into a home. She has your children. She cooks all your meals. She does that magical shirt's always in the cupboard. You don't know how it gets there,
Right.
right? She looks after your laundry. She sends you out the door with a kiss and a hey, go get them, Tiger. And then you go out there like a hero for 8 hours, and she's working 24/7, right, to do
Right.
her own career and keep the family together. So,
Yeah,
women, you're so blessed. You're all CEOs. As of today,
that's true.
you're no longer CEOs. All right. So I'm going to wrap it
Well,
up now. You've been an awesome guest. Thank you for being on the show. Any last words to our audience?
thank you for having me, Jeff. This has been a super fun time. And my favorite saying is, I see you and I celebrate you. So I want to leave that with you. Don't be a reactor, be a creator.
Love it. Love it. Thank you very much for being on the show. You've been awesome.